what we have here is a looking branch right here, and this is where they deposit their scent, and they communicate by leaving their scent on this looking branch here, and all that is pushed over sapling. It looks like it's alive, and this will be here for a while. So I plan to monitor this scrape here. There's a scrape here, and there's another scrape up 50 yards away, and I'm seeing some big tracks on this scrape. And this is a marshy area that is extremely thick. And so my idea is to see what's moving through here and when it's moving through here. And hopefully there's a big mature buck in this area, or a big mature doe. I'd be happy for either in 2023. And I can figure out a way to ambush it with the wind. Right now the wind is blowing this way. So this would be a good spot in the morning to come through, as well as the evening to come out. And it's extremely thick. Basically, off to my left and off to my right is so thick that it's almost impossible to walk through comfortably for any large game animal. So they've established this pathway right down the middle, and I'm going to monitor it and see. I already see a possible tree for a tree stand, a really good one. And I would hunt this from a tree stand mostly because the wind is so unpredictable in these lowland marshy areas. That would be the main reason. And to get a better shot, I can see a tree that's about 15 yards off this trail. That would be ideal. So we'll see what's on the trail. I'm monitoring the scrape, big tracks in it. See how the deer use the area and when they use it. And if it looks good, I will find a tree to hunt out of and ambush these older deer that love these marshy swamps, because only the most dedicated hunters will come back down in here. So it's a safety area, and all they need is a dry bed to lay in, and they can literally live their whole lives down here and not be harassed, except by the most extremely dedicated hunters like myself. So this tree makes a good tree to somewhat conceal this camera. It's about 5 yards from the scrape, and we're just gonna monitor all traffic in and out of this area here. I usually put them about 3 feet off the ground. That gives the best perspective. Just about like that. And I set the trail cameras for about 30 seconds of video because I like to see them interact with the looking branches and the scrapes, especially the bucks. And it'll also take still pictures immediately before the video, so it's a wonderful tool to find out what kind of deer are in the area, and hopefully it'll prove to be a great spot either in the morning or the evening. And I love hunting areas like this where most people won't go. So you can find some really big does back in here, and obviously I'm hoping for a mega buck. right here we have a corner of a swamp. What this is super thick brush, and it kind of forces the deer to move around it. That's kind of it's a corner. And there's fresh droppings here, rather large droppings right there. And I can see a faint trail right there. There's a trail coming through here. And this trail right here has some very fresh tracks, so I'll definitely be watching this. I'll monitor it with a trail camera. And there's a trail going along the edge of the swamp here. So this is a cross trail here, and there's a super heavy trail here with big tracks that I'll show you. And this is the corner of a super heavy swamp, and it's just not fun to walk through there. So the deer are obviously skirting. So there's a heavy trail here, and there's a heavy trail here, actually comes kind of through here. So we'll see what this corner produces as far as deer on the camera. Hopefully we can tell there's some big bucks or big does in here and find out when they're moving through here. Okay, right now it's in the afternoon. That wind is coming this direction, which is northwest. So this is a prevailing northwest wind. So they can certainly come out of this swamp with the wind in their nose and feel protected. So we'll see if it's in the morning or the evening, whether or not, how they use this area. Trail cams are a wonderful tool, a great way to learn how these deer move and interact and when they're using certain areas. And this is February 1st of the year 2023. The deer late season ended 2 weeks ago, the flintlock and archery in Pennsylvania, so the deer are still sticking to some extremely thick cover. And where I am now is an absolute nightmare in the summertime, but right now, you know, it's passable. And so the best time of year to scout, I really do firmly believe, is right now. Literally right after the flintlock ends, right after the deer hunting season ends, because what I'm finding is where the deer feel comfortable moving in their area, and you're gonna find that it's extremely restricted. I mean, we're talking maybe 5% of the entire forest is being utilized right now. And so I'm kind of curious to see, you know, if they're coming out of here in the morning or the evening or the middle of the day, and what time they are moving, whether or not it's in the daylight or at dark. Because my theory is that if the deer feel safe here now, chances are really good they're going to use this as a security area, and they're going to possibly use this all year. You know, an older buck or an older doe will feel safe in here, and I'm hoping utilize it all year. And so I'll be hunting some super thick areas like I usually do. And my goal this year is to harvest a 3.5-year-old public land buck, or better, of course. Basically any deer that'll be around the Pope and Young minimum. It's going to be around 120 to 130 inch buck, and I absolutely know that they do exist, because last year I had probably half dozen that would have been Pope and Young bucks or better on public land. So the opportunity is here if you're willing to scout and put the time into it. And in addition to that, I'd like to tag out on my does. So I love venison, I love shooting deer in general, especially with my recurve. So 2023 will be the year for me.